Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Now forgive me, this video is an impromptu video. I didn't actually plan this. I do have two videos planned, plus the stream later this evening with Gary from Nerdrotic, bagging, boarding and chatting. We've got some very interesting topics of conversation to go through there. But I saw this yesterday and I wasn't actually going to touch it at first. I thought I'd leave it to the sort of American content creators because it was more pointed towards them. And they seem to have a handle on this trash article. But what drew me to it is the fact that when I woke up this morning, I discovered that the article had been deleted, had been removed. And when you don't have the courage of your own conviction with your hot takes, it displays what an unmitigated coward you are. And then that's driven me in to actually chime in with my 2 cents about this piece of drivel, which was put out yesterday on Memorial Day in America, which in itself shows a distinct and utter lack of respect for veterans. Veterans who fought and some tragically gave their lives so that pissants like this can write their trash unopposed, that have the freedom to give their hot takes over the internet and piss all over these beautiful people. They sacrificed everything for these privileged, pathetic individuals. And you just have to go onto Twitter and see all the blue check marks, etc., and people like this screaming about repression and oppression unopposed and free to do it because these people gave everything for them. You disgust me! Disgust me! I knew they'd be ranting, I'm sorry, but it sickens me to the core. Sickens me. Every day to go online and see these privileged arsewipes talking about how we're oppressed, how we're so attacked, here and there, where they sit in their positions where nobody touches them, where they can say exactly what they want with the freedom to do so without repercussion or recourse from anyone, because they have the freedom of speech to do so. And yet they take it upon themselves to cry victim and victim, to give their hot takes and disrespect the very people, the very foundation of why they can do this, why they live in a free Western society. This person should be ashamed. They should be ashamed of themselves. If I was them, and I'd realised what I'd done, if I actually had a moral compass, this person here, if I knew the disingenuous nature of this article and the fact that it was created for no other reason than to generate hate clicks so they could pocket a little crumb of pussy. If that person had any soul whatsoever, they would come out and say, I'm ashamed of what I wrote. And here's the flip side, because we're all entitled to our own opinions. I know that this side of the equation, their side of the equation, don't want to hear anyone else's. Quite happy to shout their own. But when you don't have the power of your conviction, when you cowardly go and delete it, that's your prerogative. But if you truly believe in what you wrote, then put it back up. Put it back up and accept the consequences of your writing. But it got pulled down. I had to ask on Twitter this morning, does somebody have an archive link for it? And some beautiful soul sort this out for me so I can go through some of this article. Not all of it, I'm going to go through some of it because it's trash. And of course, it doesn't exist anymore because the website pulled it. I know people are worried I'm going to have an aneurysm one day, but this isn't just about comics. This article is a slap in the face to veterans. It is a slap into the face of people who gave everything. And the person who wrote it knows it as well. And that's why it really gets my goat. So let's just go into a couple of things here. They go with the stunning and brave headline of Steve Rogers wasn't a hero for becoming Captain America. He was selfish. Okay. While he's Marvel's golden boy, Steve Rogers deciding to be Captain America was based on his own selfish desires. Now, the beauty is with articles like this, inherently with articles like this, they tend to contradict themselves very quickly. And this person is no exception either. Do not contact them. Do not give them any ammunition. Leave them alone. Leave their legacy here for people like me and others to discuss. So they start off with, Captain America is one of the most important characters in Marvel's history. And without him, many of the great stories of the Marvel Universe would not happen or wouldn't be the same. He is central to the entire framework of Marvel's storytelling. And Captain America is emblematic of justice, honesty, and perseverance, making him the ultimate culmination of the American ideal. However, it's not going to stop me from having a terrible hot take. A terrible hot take that gets pulled down. Because I don't have the courage of my own convictions. Because what I wrote, I don't believe. I did it for hate clicks and therefore pulled it when it got blowback. Because people saw exactly through this article for what it was. Sorry, I might have paraphrased. They went with slightly different words. However, the decision for Steve Rogers to become Captain America is inherently selfish. Oh, really? Please present your opinion, present your evidence, present your hot take for us. We're waiting with bated breath. Steve was rejected from the military due to his small stature and health issues. But then his life changes when he is invited to join the Super Soldier program, which is how he became Captain America. However, when removing the context of what he would become, the decision is selfish. No, it's not. Steve was rejected from the military. He attempted to go into the military on his own volition, not with any special treatment, with his stature and his health, and he was rejected. He wanted, and context is so implicitly important here, to fight in World War II. He wanted to defend his country. He wanted to defend people. He wanted to defend freedoms. How the fucking hell is that selfish, you idiot? It's as if you're being a disingenuous prick. and then you squirm back into your little safe space and delete your article because everybody sees right through you. Rather than contribute in the best ways suited to him, Steve chooses to undergo experimental treatments to artificially enhance himself. Do you understand the metaphor of Captain America? I think probably you do, but there is a chance that you are too stupid not to. Captain America stands not only for the physical, but for the psychological person back in those days. You may not think you're good enough to serve, but this little guy grew, became this super soldier because he was so determined. So if you thought back in those days you weren't worthy, or you might not be able to do it, it was there saying, if you want to support your country, if you do want to go out there, and I'm not saying I'm pro-war or anything like that, but I'm saying that there is a lot of patriotic people, and we live in an age where the word patriotism is being perverted into some sort of disgusting alt-right terminology like nationalism and stuff like that. No, it means you love your fucking country and you believe in the ideals of that country and you want to uphold them so people can live without fear, without compromise, without being dragged from their beds in the middle of the night and taken to camps never to be seen again, which exists in other countries even to today. But what do you know? You know shit. You come here with your pissant article, trying to piss all over a brilliant character, a character that stood for something, while you snivel away with your snide little article and then delete it because you don't have the power of your own convictions. You don't have the courage of your own convictions because you're a coward. That's the difference between a hero and a coward like you. Steve chooses to undergo the experimental treatments to artificially enhance himself after he was rejected. He is invited to join the program. Steve's choice to become Captain America is rooted in a fetishism of the hyper-masculine, oh, fuck off, soy boy, rather than an innate desire to do good. An innate desire, he's rejected from the military, but then invited to go into the program, which he accepts because he wants to go on the front line. He wants to look the enemy in the eye. He wants to fight the threat front on. I just want to say one more thing. This is a bold claim against America's golden boy. No, it's not. It's a pathetic, cowardly, snide take. One that is purposely put out there to generate hate, to get you clicks, to profiteer from the destruction of a character, which, by the way, Marvel are doing a really good job of right now, tearing this character apart because he stands for the power of conviction with his country. He stands for freedom of speech, so pissants like you can say exactly what you want. He stands for the freedom of democracy. He stands for everything that the country and the Western society stands for. If it's not good enough for you, fuck off somewhere else. Go somewhere else where you won't have those freedoms, where you can't run your mouth without consequence. What's that? You don't want to? Didn't think so. Coward! Coward! Yeah, I know I've got raged. But yesterday was Memorial Day in America. Even though it wasn't Memorial Day here in the UK, it was Memorial Day in America. It doesn't have to be. Even though I'm British, I can still recognise the sacrifice that these people, these soldiers have given. And I'm not just talking World War II, I'm talking all the wars that they fight. They fight so we can live in freedom. That I can come onto the internet and say what I want. My freedom of speech. And if you don't bow down and thank these people on bended knee for what they have done, for the ones who gave the ultimate sacrifice, you are scum! I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.